I want to bring in Florida Congressman Greg Steube, Congressman. So obviously the Senate still needs to approve the bills when they get back next week. Your thoughts on that and your reaction to what you heard the president say to Maria yesterday about are we looking at another Schumer shutdown? We had Congressman Jackson on last hour, and he said he doesn't think it's going to happen. What do you say?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, if you listen to Chuck Schumer talking about the funding bills, he's been very positive about working with Republicans to pass the bill. Unfortunately, we have our legislative leaders, our Republican legislative leaders, that have made a conscious decision to work with Democrats to pass these funding bills. So that's how the majority of Democrats voted for these bills to pass out of the House. Thune still refuses to do away with the filibuster, so that forces him to get 7 or 8 Democrats to go along with him to pass these bills. So if Chuck Schumer doesn't want to work with him, then the government will be shut down. But by the evidence we saw in the House yesterday, the majority of Democrats voted for these bills. I didn't vote for the bulk of them. I voted for the DHS bill. It was the only bill that was actually clean, that actually just funded the agency. And the majority of Democrats voted against that because they hate what ICE is doing, and they hate America and think that we should allow illegals to do whatever they want in our country. So thankfully that got funded. I would love to rein in spending. I would love to do these type of things that conservatives want us to do when they got elected us to the House and the Senate, instead of funding abortion clinics and LGBTQ transition centers. And Ilhan Omar gets $1.5 million for a playground in Minneapolis. But our leaders have made a conscious decision to work with Democrats to pass these bills. So I suspect it's going to pass the Senate next week. They have a lot of work to do. There's like 8 bills that they have to pass, that the House has done the work to pass these bills to send them to the Senate. So we'll have to see.
Ilhan Omar got how much for a playground? Did you say $1.5 million? $1.5
million for a playground in Minneapolis. I mean, I have a whole list of things I could go through here. We put them on our Twitter page if people want to see some of the highlights. In the DOD bill, we're giving money to Lebanon for a border wall. We're giving money to Syria, a leader that's a former al-Qaeda operative. I just can't, in good conscience, support that type of spending. But our leadership has made a decision to work with Democrats to pass bills. And when you make that decision to work with Democrats instead of working with conservatives to pass bills, that's what you end up with.
Well, okay. Well, certainly we'll have to check out your X feed as well, sir. I'm glad you mentioned that. So let's talk about this. White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles says the president's going to be making appearances throughout the country starting next week ahead of the midterms. I believe it's Iowa on Tuesday. The president joked with reporters aboard Air Force One yesterday. Listen to what he said.
How much travel are you going to do this year, campaign travel?
I'm going to do a lot of campaign traveling. I hate to tell you guys, but it's going to keep you employed. Now, we're going to work hard. I mean, the only problem with that question is, for whatever reason, it's a deep down psychological reason, sitting presidents that won, even that won big, we won big.
So did you hear that? He said it's going to keep all of us employed. That's just lovely. But, the House GOP can only afford to lose 2 votes with the narrow majority. They're pushing the affordability agenda through a second reconciliation bill. Now, Maria did ask the president about it yesterday. Listen to this.
Do you think we'll see another reconciliation plan?
I'd like to see it. It's hard when you have a majority by 3. They just vote no. I don't know what it is. I think they get good publicity. They really don't. They hurt the country.
So you're not afraid that they're going to stop your agenda?
Okay, look, they've been fighting me for 10 years.
I know.
And here we are. This isn't the White House, but I'm going to the White House. I'm not going someplace else. We've done an incredible job. We closed up the southern border, 100%.
Will all of this be enough to keep the majority for the Republicans in the midterms?
I don't know. We should do well, and we're going to fight like hell to do well. Because, look, we don't want to have anything. What we've done is we've created a miracle. This country is stronger. It's doing better than it's ever done, and you're going to see that.
So again, the president is going to be in an unprecedented fashion all over the United States this year to campaign for the Republicans. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he has to, because we have to get Trump voters out during the midterms, and obviously Trump voters don't typically come out during the midterms because he's not on the ticket. And he knows, just like we know, and every Republican in the House knows, that if we lose the House, all they're going to do is impeach Trump, impeach Kristi Noem, impeach Hegseth, impeach Pam Bondi. They've already filed impeachment resolutions on all of these people and attempted to try to pass impeachment resolutions on the president. So they know that we will get nothing accomplished if we lose the House in the midterms and all of the great things that the president wants to accomplish for the remainder of his term. But all the president has to do is talk about all of the wins. The wins in the big, beautiful bill that we passed last year. You're going to start seeing the economic impact of that coming this spring through the taxes and no taxes on tips and $6,000 tax credit for those seniors on Social Security. So it's a great thing for him to go around the country and talk about.
Well, President Trump is up and posting this morning. Just a couple of moments ago, he was on Truth Social, and he talked about Davos. He said what a great trip to Davos it was. So many things accomplished, including the framework of a deal with NATO on Greenland, also the Board of Peace. He was with Marie yesterday about the plan to secure total access to Greenland. Listen.
Does this ultimately mean that the U.S. will ultimately acquire Greenland?
Well, I don't know if I can say that, but it could be. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible. But in the meantime, we're getting everything we wanted: total security, total access to everything, have as many bases, have all the equipment that we want. And very importantly, you know, we're building the Golden Dome, we call it.
So the Golden Dome will be on Greenland?
A piece of it, yes, and it's a very important part because it's everything comes over Greenland. If the bad guys start shooting, it comes over Greenland. So we knock it down. It's pretty infallible. It's amazing.
So the president argues that U.S. ownership of the territory is vital for the Golden Dome. Multi-billion-dollar missile defense system, he says, will be operational before he leaves office. That's January 2029, Congressman. I want to get your thoughts on that because Bloomberg was reporting this morning that we're looking first and foremost to rewrite our defense agreement with Denmark to kind of include this new relationship with regards to Greenland.
Yeah, the bottom line, we at least see military bases and the opportunity to be able to place assets on Greenland to defend our country. We have appropriated money for the Golden Dome, which was a great thing that we appropriated money to in the House to defend the homeland. We're pretty vulnerable right now because we don't have defensive measures that we put in place. So putting the Golden Dome is very important. Greenland is strategically important for that. It's great we have a president who sees that, who's working for that. I don't think he ever had the intention of going in there militarily, but if they're not willing to work with us to allow us to put our bases and they're allowing the Chinese and the Russians to operate in and around Greenland, that's not going to work for the safety and security of the American people. He knows that. He's fighting for our safety and security, and we absolutely have to get that done, and he's already put a framework in place. What a president to be able to get so many accomplishes done in just the first year of his term.
No, just to let you know here, that if we rewrite that, that means there's no limits on military presence in Greenland if you rewrite that defense agreement between the United States and Greenland. So I know it's going to be a couple of weeks before we get more details. It's all the devil and the details has to be worked out, but we'll see what they do, Congressman. It's going to be fascinating to watch. Thank you for being here this morning. We appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime. Good to see you.
Congressman Greg